So part 1 says store the name of class toppers in different variables. Toppers are Sarah, Sadia, and Sahrosh. Um, let's make topper. And since these are characters, we in strings. We get a series of characters. So Sarah, topper 2. You can use any name as a variable, but the best name of a variable is that is more descriptive. Okay? It can be ABC, uh, 1, 2, 3, but it's always better to use name of the variable which are descriptive. And then number 3, which is Sarosh. Okay, perfect. That was our part 1. Then store the marks of class toppers in different variables. So the marks are one is, and these are now numbers. These are floating numbers, and in the later parts you have to perform operations on it, mathematical operations on it. So that's why it's not a good idea to save them as string values. These are float values, so we keep them as it is. Mark 2 equals to 98.75. Is equals to minus 3 is equal to 96.9. Perfect. Second is done. If I'm going to pass, or if you have a question, please leave that in the chat. The third part is find the mean of the topper's marks using Python mathematical operations and store them in variable AVG. That stands for average. Okay. Let's find the marks. For an average, we need a sum, and then after sum, we sum marks marks 1 plus 2 plus and then average by sum marks and by division 3, right? So the sum of the numbers divided by the number of the marks, number of strings. Okay, so that's our average. Now we print our average, and for printing, for making it more user-friendly and more descriptive, our output should be descriptive. So we'll write. So what they wanted us mean of the topper's marks. So the mean of the topper's marks is equals to comma, then I will put AVG. With this comma, there is an automatic space. There will be an automatic space between this equals to sign and average sign. And here we have it. And remember, these were the floating point number. This is the data type of these numbers are floating point, and when we divide it by 3, it gives us a floating point number, and that is a floating point. Okay, now let's move forward to the next part. Convert all these variables into integer variables. Okay. Int num1. Okay. So for converting and using them later, that we can see in the following parts, we have to save them into another variable. What we can do is that we can also save them in the same variable, but we can change the name. So we can say, for example, int num1 is equal to 1, and then we can change the name. So we can say int num1 is equal to 1, and then we can change the name. So int marks1, or we can use another variable to save it. They both would give us the same output. However, this is more descriptive and this would help us more, and this will be confusing. However, this would give the same output because here at this point, mark 1 was a floating point number and that was 99.5. And till this line of code, it was same. It has a same data type that is of a floating point number. However, after this, the data type becomes integer. So it won't affect our these operations. They will still stay as floating point number. So, but it's always good to use new variables so that it becomes less confusing. And you have to save them somewhere. Um, again, the variables, it's better if they're as restricted as well. Okay, then sum, let's write in sum that sum of all three. There could again another possibility that you don't have to save them, but since they ask us to save, so that you have to do it. In num1 plus. So the next part was find the mean of the integer variable. That's what you're doing. Int average, which is int sum divided by 3, which is the number. So now we have int or int the same the mean integer of the doctor's marks is equals to, or no need of space, comma, because there is an automatic space, which is the comma, and then you can say N A V G. Compare to that, and you'll see it's a different number. Alright. And then the last part of part 1 says find the difference in the integer mean and the float mean. So to find the difference, we can simply say, you can simply print this out. So your code should be a good code is least long. It's not long, but it's descriptive at the same time. Okay, so print difference mean float comma, then we have ABD minus int ABG. These were the variables that we used earlier for float mean and integer. And here we have it. So that's the difference. So we are done with part 1. Do you have any questions? No questions? Should I move forward? Perfect. So let's generate this output. Class hoppers are Sarah, Sanya, Saroj. You should use the variables that you have declared in part 1. All right. So for that, I wanted to teach you one thing alongside it, which I think that you guys didn't know before. That was how to print double quotations within the double quotation. Okay? And here, how do you do it? So for part 2, you have to print. What do you have to print? You have to write class toppers are. Okay, let me show you the question. So, so you exactly want this output, and you will do it with the quotation marks. I'm just writing it here so that you know. Okay, so we have to print this. And how can we print this? Let's first print this part because you can see it. Okay, so to print quotation marks, within quotation marks, you have to use backslash, which would be above your enter or next to your square brackets. This is a backslash. And then you put a quotation mark. Now this quotation mark will be printed. This the only the quotation mark will be printed. With see, only the quotation mark is printed. Without that, that would be an error. Okay, so that's how you print a quotation mark with a backslash. With that, you write class toppers are colon comma. Then Sarah was okay. So there are many ways I came across while checking. So while checking, I guess Miriam's work, and it was pretty good too. So there are a million ways. I'm just using that one among those so many ways. Okay. So you all are right. Topper one. Topper one. And then there's a comma, so I can comma right there. Then another plus, then proper 2 plus comma plus proper 3 and then plus, and then there's a last quotation mark, and that's asking for that double quotations, a backslash, and then a double quotation, and that's how we're going to have it. Yes. Um, because with concatenation there is not an automatic space, but you can it wasn't necessary that we use concatenation. We could have used the comma as well within these. But that's just one way of doing it. That's a new thing to learn. Moving forward. Okay. Print the marks of each student along with their names. You have to use only variables to generate this output. Um, so you guys did this first two parts correctly. Then with the variable thing, you can just use you could have simply just printed the proper and then the marks. So we have printed the marks of each student with the names, and you can you have to use only variables for your data. So that's what we did. We only use the variables, and here we have it. Okay, perfect. Now moving to the next part, which is print the float mean of entire class using the variables that we have entered earlier, and that is this was just printing out parts. Yeah. Again, in that output, we can copy it over here as a model output. Let's try print. And for the quotation mark, we have to put backslash and then a quotation, and then class name is colon, and then let's do this. And so for the float name, we use AUG as a variable name, okay, as said in the assignment as well, and that's out there. And for the last semicolon, again we put a backslash. Uh, So there's a space over here because of the comma. We don't want that. We can use but for that we have to convert this. So not a problem. Okay, let's move forward. Let's move to part 3. Instructor was making some changes in the table for names that we have entered, and by mistake he has stored all of them in one variable. And when you are given a question like this, you have to take the output of the question as it is. There are no spaces in the name, so you don't have to space it for yourself. So use your Python knowledge of string slicing, and usually the questions you have given you name to separate these names and store them back into 3 different variables. Now let's see. So this was for so our name, which I use this one right here, names is equals to perfect. So we have a variable name, and then I just took it from the assignment. Now let's say name, or we can say first is name, square brackets, and then Sarah 0, 1, 2, 3. And since we're starting from the beginning, there's no need to put 0. And then we'll only put the last letter 0, 1, 2, 3. But if I put 3, it will stop at R because at the digit that I put over here, the brick or the wall is created before it. So the digit I put over here would be 4 because it means that tail 4 but not including it. That would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but not including it. So a ball is over here. Now let's start with second. Second names square brackets, and then we start from the 4, and where do we end? And then this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. However, we will put 9 because, as I said before, it goes till 9, but it does not include it as the wall is created before 9, right? And then the last one, the third one, will be name of the string, square brackets, and then from 9 till the end. So you don't have to put, you don't need to know what was last. That's how you do it quickly, and then you can print all of this. First, print second, third, Perfect. Right? See you guys. So if you have a question, you can speak up. Okay, perfect. Let's go to the next part. Part 4. Achha, use data 1. These are the names, these are the marks. Then data 2 with the names and the marks. And all the questions. Let's start. Make two lists to store marks of each assignment as A1 marks and A2 marks. Let's do that. This is the last part. Um, Two to 7. Oh. So now we have to create a list of marks. So in part 4, we have to use a set node. It's a list. To declare a list, we need a square brackets, and we have square brackets 67, comma 87, comma 78, 4, 99, and then 1, 2, 34. Oh, we have to declare another list. So let's we put double square brackets. 34, 6, good to go. It has been discovered that the cover and Zevar left the class after assignment 1. So we need to remove their marks from the records. Therefore, kindly make these amendments in their marks list. So the cover and Zevar and assignment 1. The cover is here, and there is here, and the marks are respective uses should be index 0, 1, and then 3, and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 and 4. At 2 and 4 index, we have to remove. So, okay, so there are two ways of removing it. Let's look at the first way. A1 marks. You could just simply remove it by simply saying that 78, which is at the fourth index, 78, or we can pop them out. Before pop, we need to insert an object of one pop. Before pop, we used to use indexes, right? So what happens is that if you remove the second index, okay? So this is removed now. The next time when you're going to use it, 78 won't be at the fourth position. So just imagine that if this is removed, this is now removed, this is not there. Okay, so this would be at 0, 1, 2, 3. So that would be 3. That's how would you do it. Okay, so you have to take special care about this. That when you're using the pop function, you have to keep in mind the index. That what index would that number be at after this line will be executed. Okay? So in the way of doing it and not getting into this trouble is to use this. Sort the marks of assignment 1 in descending order. Sort of assignment marks. And we should all remember from our session that we use the name of the list dot sort brackets reverse, which was originally at default was originally declared false, but now it will declare it true, right? Yes. So we can, by the way, print them out. So I can find out. We have result to and then also print this statement out. C, take care of the brackets. Yes. So it printed from the largest value going to the smallest value. Okay, let's move forward to the next question. Print the highest marks in assignment 1 and print the lowest marks. Again, we have very, very handy functions. We just have to use them. That is, print the maximum, which is we have the max function, so max brackets, and then the name of the list of assignment 1, this, and then for the minimum, for the lowest marks, we use print, then brackets, 1, yes, 99 and 39. Perfect. Now let's move to the next part. Combine the marks in both the lists and store them in a new list total marks. Okay, so let's declare another name of list total marks. And we read that if we have to combine two lists, we simply add them. We use the plus sign between the two lists, and that's how we used to concatenate strings. That's how we combine this. So A1 marks plus A2 printing. So you can see, because we had already sorted it out in the descending order, so A1 is also going at the end. A2. Let's move to the second part, the next part, which is how many more students appeared in assignment 1 than in assignment 2. Okay, so um, so we know that we have already removed 2 of the students, right? So to do this part, it is important that we do it before removing, because in the question they say that the story that the current is our the class after assignment 1. So they did A. So we still have to include them to make this question a bit more fair. I'm sorry that they appear so later in the question back. However, to be fair, you have to do it before the remove. That's why when you're doing it and you're reading the question, you have to think you have removed some students already. So you have to do it more for argument. So let's do it. So we find the difference, right? And let's see what was the statement. Our statement was how many more students are this is how many more students we have. So to see that, what can we do? So to find the number of values in the list, in this list and in this list, there was a function called len function, and that's what we use. Len, len, a1, the name of the first list, minus len, brackets, a2, and name of the second list. So that's the difference is 3. So that is, guys, this should be before we remove the power, etc. And we can also see that if you're let's move forward to our last question. Delete both of these lists from the memory. That's a very good habit to do. So let's just a1 marks. That will be fine. Do we have any? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't read your questions. So you're talking over here, right? Okay, okay. So see, we needed this double quotation and we wanted to print it out. I wanted you guys to know that how do we print a double quotation the double quotation. Okay. So to do that, if you try to print a double quotation like this, it would give you an error, right? This is an error at line 82. This is so to print, there are certain characters in a keyboard that are not printed, are not just printed if you put them within the double quotation. So you have to print them in a special way. And that's what you do is that backslash quotation. These green quotations that you could see, this one and this one, is the one for the printing thing, printing a string, right? For printing that we usually print over here, this class focus on, okay? And this is to print the quotation that we needed over here. That's why I didn't put the space before. And these are not two double quotations. This is the double quotation that we have to print, which is in black. You could see, and the rest are for the printing that we do normally. Any more questions? We're done with this. Perfect then. Thank you so much for joining. Yes. That's good. Goodbye.